Hey guys, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. What we're going to cover is exactly what an offer is, what is not an offer, key elements of a good offer, examples of good offers, and offer intensifiers. And then what we're going to do is amalgamate, consolidate all of the research from the marketing greats, Dan Kennedy, Jay Abrahams, Joel Irwin. I wouldn't consider marketing great, but Joel Irwin, Alex Hormozy, Mark Joyner, we're going to take all of the knowledge that we have and create an offer for ourselves and for our agency in 2022. So I kid you not, guys, the industry is getting tighter and tougher. Competition is at an all-time high. I'm not even kidding. I think due to all the gurus and selling courses, everybody's getting into the space. So if you do not have an irresistible offer in this year and moving forward, I don't know how you're going to make it genuinely. And if I'm being 100% transparent, no coaches, no coaching, no coursing, no coaches, no courses. This is how I scaled my agency. And it's not so I can upsell you on coaching or courses. I'm just being 100% transparent with you. So let's get into it, right? What is the definition of an offer? So, an offer is not putting a few words together. I'm going to help ecom brands dominate with my GSC method. No, no, no. I don't want you to become one of those guys and they're just really silly at this point. Don't become one of them. And if you are, you have the time to change it. And we're going to change it right here in this video, right? So, an offer is the product or service you agree to provide, the terms of the agreement, and at what price, right? It's basically your business proposal, right? It's Business 101. It's the exchange of value. I scratch your back, you scratch mine, right? But a good offer goes beyond that also. It answers these big four questions. What are you selling me? How much it is? Why should I trust you? And what do I get out of this, right? How does it benefit me, right? So let's go through what an offer is. An offer is, first of all, it's not just your service. It's not just I provide Facebook ads, I provide SMS, I provide email. No, that alone is just the channel, right? The distribution channel. That's not your offer. And an offer is not a special sale. That's a one time thing that you're doing, right? I am doing 50% off our service um, if you're an old customer, right? That's a one time thing. The offer that you have and we're building right now is the actual main thing. The identity of your business, right? It's the lifeblood of your business. It's why your business exists. Now, there's a big, big difference. A special sale is a one time thing, right? Maybe you're doing a discount because it's Valentine's Day or it's whatever day it is, right? It's not a statement of fact. It's not, we are the best agency voted by Google. No, that's not it, right? Nobody cares about that. Well, it does add to social recognition, but that's not an offer, right? It's not your benefit. Okay, so we provide ad creatives. No, that's just a benefit. It's like an added benefit, but that's not your offer, guys. No. It's also not your USP, right? So if you, we are the first Japanese agency in America, like, no, that's something very unique. Probably not. Okay, if I were to make an example, a pharmacy in the United States and they advertise the first pharmacy with Japanese pharmacists. That's very unique. And you will attract Japanese pharmacists, but it's not something that's going to make me get out of my chair, get into my car, and speed down the road to your pharmacy. No, that's just something very unique, but it's not going to make me come and buy all of your products, right? I'm gonna relate to it because I'm probably Japanese. I'm not, but just as an example, right? But it's not your offer. right? And I'm going to explain further. Hopefully, everything makes sense. But if it doesn't, you can catch me on IG or Facebook, shoot me a message. I probably won't respond to it within a minute or a second, but I promise you by the end of the day, I will, right? Now, I do also want to explain something very, very important. And I've seen this with marketing books, right? Alex Hormozy also published a book, I think it was last year, and everybody went crazy because it's really, really good. If you haven't read it, if you haven't read it, read it. Go and get it. It's really good, but it's not enough, right? What Alex offers is a back end offer, right? You actually also need a front end offer that's going to fuel cold audiences, right? A lot of people create offers that don't really convert or make cold audiences get into your funnel, right? Because it's like showing your willy, right? It's too much, right, upfront. So you want to get something that's short and sweet, which is a front end offer that's going to make that cold audience actually click on your profile and be like, wow, okay, what is this guy all about? You know, and then they're going to message you and be like, I'm interested. I want to hear more, right? Then you're going to give them the back end offer, which is actually going to make them convert. But a front end offer is not built to convert like a back end offer. And a back end offer is not built to get cold audiences into your funnel or get them to click or get them to or pique their interest, right? And that's really the differences between the two, right? What did I write? Front end offer is the touchstone, right? That piques the interest of your prospect, right? This will get cold audiences into your funnel, but will not get them to convert. Just click, right? It's what you add to your social bio. Once you get onto someone's social bio, like I said, a lot of people add, we will get you, I don't know, dominate your, I don't know, in the industry, blah, 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 with our blah, blah, blah method, boom, boom, boom. That's the example of a whack front end offer, but it is a front end offer. And then once they get on call with you, that you hit them with your back end offer. Hopefully everything makes sense. The difference between the two, right? Alex Hormozy created a really good back end offer. Front end offer that converts cold audiences. Joel Orway really comes in handy with this mental framework, right? So let's get into the elements of a great offer, right? Number one, it has to be a good deal. Not only that, but it has to solve a painful problem, right? You can't just, um, bad example, but I'm not going to mention it. So, a high ROI encompasses a clear solution to a painful problem, plus great value for your marketing. I mean, for your money, right? So, once we get into problems, right, this can be an actual problem, like they're struggling to get their first sale, right? Um, they're struggling with lead generation, right? Or it can be an unfulfilled need or desire. Here we get into psychological problems, psychological needs and desires. We tap into our desires as animals, what we on a basic level need. If it's sleep, I'm really struggling with my sleep due to anxiety and yeah, uncertainty in life, I'm really struggling finding a life partner. All my girlfriends have dumped me. That's at a basic level what human beings need to survive: food, sleep, shelter, partners to reproduce. What else can I think of? But there's a difference between actual problems, like I'm struggling to get my first client, and psychological problems. Both can be really, really painful, right? Like really, really painful. So you need a clear solution to a painful problem, plus great value for your money, right? Now, Alex Hormozy touches on this, where he talks about the dream outcome. And it's this, he describes this as the utopia, right? The desired place that they envision for themselves. What is that ideal outcome? Maybe it's to live diabetes free. Maybe it's to live cancer free. Maybe it's to actually be with a partner, get two kids. Maybe it's to get that first 10K where they can actually get better equipment, get into a better apartment, get medical aid, prove their family wrong, actually say fuck you to your friends because you didn't believe me, so F you. That's what the dream outcome is. What do they sleep and really think of? If only I could get this first client, I could get my first 10K, my family would actually believe in me, I would get out of this shitty, toxic environment. Like, what is that dream outcome that they have and that they envision in their heads, that they daydream about, right? For me, it was, my dream was getting to my first 5K, right? So I could give my mom money, and it was a symbol of, hey, I told you so. I told you this would work out. I told you this business idea would work out. Now you see what I mean by college is shit. It was buying myself better equipment, right? Mere things like that. Getting a better phone, getting a better laptop, moving out of a shitty place and a toxic environment, out of my parents' place. So the money was a tool for me to climb up the ladder with my family, as a form of gaining respect, as a form of getting like social recognition. Like, wow, Famke, you really did it, right? Between my partner and my friends, right? The desire is the same for ecom founders, right? It's their painful problem, right? Might be like, getting out of Facebook's ass. Facebook is so fucking annoying. But more than that, it's actually scaling to their first 100K, getting scaling past, 1 million. Um, but it's, not just that, it's also a statement of validation from other human beings, right? Money is just a tool, but if you go one step deeper, it's actually to get validation from other people, right? To be recognized as, wow, like you really did that. 1 million. Yeah, so don't be fooled. People might be like, I don't care about money. But trust me, deep down inside, we're all trying to climb that social ladder, right? So, what you're selling must also be an investment. It's not just a clear solution to a painful problem, but it must also be a deal, right? If I make business with you, it should be like, wow, I'm getting all of this for 10K. And I'm saying 10K because you shouldn't automatically think, if it's a deal, if the price should be low. Not at all. In fact, I'm saying the opposite. Make your price as high as possible, but the value discrepancy should be like this. So if you're charging 10K, right? The price is here, 10K. I'm not saying charge $10. If you're charging 5K, 10K, the value should be here for what you're providing, where the prospect actually comes to you and they're like, whoa, I could have paid 100K to like this big agency, but I'm getting all that for 10K. Sign me up. So you want to compare the great value that you're giving them versus the cost, right? Or them doing it themselves versus other options, other agencies. Like, imagine the scales of justice type of value, right? When I say scales of justice, I mean it should be unequal. This should value should be here and your cost should be here. But it does not mean your cost should be low. It just means the value that you're giving compared to your cost is like the scales of motherfucking justitia, right? So charge as high as possible, right? So if I have to give you another example of what I mean by value, yesterday I shared on my status and my story that I would be sharing this document and this training that you're going through right now. I could have just said, hey guys, who wants my training? Who wants access to my training that will actually help you to create an irresistible offer for your agency, right? Or I could say, who wants my training on how to create an irresistible offer for your agency based on hundreds of hours of research, $1 billion on testing and cash collected from marketing gurus, marketing greats such as Jay Abram, Eugene Schwartz, Mark Joyner, Rob Blay, Alex Hormozy, Joel Urey, all the offer kings, plus 7,000 spent on courses and consulting on this stuff, right? Which actually allowed me to scale in a saturated market. See the difference? Does that make sense? Let me know. So then we go on to the next element, which is a touchstone, aka your front end offer, right? So, a touchstone is basically a statement that answers as many of the big four questions as possible in a clear and simple, short manner. And this really comes from the teachings of Mark Joyner. Your touchstone should say, here's a great offer, here's a great deal, so great that you'd be a fool to pass it on, right? So, let's go through some really good touchstones, right? So, first is Domino's Pizza. And their touchstone is pizza, hot and fresh, to your door in 30 minutes or less, or it's free, right? So the touchstone is here's what we sell, which is fast pizza. What's in it for you? Pizza immediately when you're hungry, or it's free. Why trust us? Well, if we don't keep our promise, you get it for free, right? And a lot of people would actually use it to test Domino's and see if they actually delivered the pizza within 30 minutes just to, sort of get it for free. But in the beginning, Domino's didn't even have great pizza, right? So is there a high ROI? No. Because, like I said in the beginning, Domino's wasn't offering great pizza for a fair price. It was fast, but it wasn't a great ROI for their customers seeking a good tasting pizza. Excuse me. So here we have Columbia House Records, right? Their touchstone is 10 CDs for 1 cent, right? So let's go through it. Let's break it down. What are they selling? They're selling cheap discs, right? How much are we paying? 1 cent or 1 penny, right? Here's what's in it for you. Cheap music at a cheap price, right? Or cheap. Um, yeah. So here's why you should trust us. Hey, what do you have to lose? It's 1 cent, really. So what's the ROI offer here? So as you might imagine, it's not really 10 CDs for a single penny. You must agree to purchase a subsequent number of CDs at a higher price, right? But that's just like their front end offer. That's a good example of a front end offer. And then the back end, they obviously sell you a lot more, right? So Federal Express, right? Their touchstone is when it absolutely, positively has to be there overnight, right? So let's break it down. What are they selling? Overnight delivery, right? Has to be there overnight. How much are you gonna pay? Your delivery is made overnight and your ass is getting out of a sling when your project has to be there on time. So you pay for it, right? You're gonna pay whatever you need to pay, right? So here's what's in it. For God's sake, how can you not have a more trustworthy name than Federal Express, right? Um, and the third element is believability, right? So I see a lot of um, marketing when I first got into the space. They kept telling me, make bold claims. And I really didn't understand what that meant. And I was scared because I was like, shit, what if I make a bold claim, but I can't even deliver, right? Um, but here's the caveat that you have to remember. If you're making bold claims but have no reason for it, it really comes off as scammy, right? So, and this is from the teachings of Mark Joyner, right? He gives this example of a man who made ads that stated that I will give you $1,000 for every $1 you gave me. Will you believe that? And it's no surprise no one responded. Like, no one. I mean, I would be thinking, okay, what's really the catch, right? For me, it sounds like a scam. And obviously, the 99% of people that ignored the ad also clearly sounded like a scam, right? And Alex touches on this, right? What's the perceived likelihood of achievement? How sure can I be that your service or product will help me achieve this outcome, right? So, in terms of believability, you need a strong reason why you're doing this, right? Like, why are you doing this? I'm doing this for charity, or I'm doing this because I don't want any more broke people. Like, that's Alex Hermosi's reason, actually, strong reason. Um, that's actually his front end offer. If you go to his YouTube channel, you'll see that He says, I'm not telling you anything. I hate to see broke people and I don't want you to be one of them. That's a strong reason why he's providing so much value, right? Um, so, how do you communicate believability, right? So, I'm going to give you the magic formula, and it is proofs. But there are different types of proofs that you can leverage, right? The first one is social proof, right? Testimonials. And then there's technical proof, right? Is your product scientifically backed? Like, do dermatologists say, like, okay, once you use this cleaning Snow White product, it will actually help you? Yeah, is it clinically backed by um, like authorities, right? Now, if you're selling a service based product, you can use different types. You don't necessarily need to use technical proof, it doesn't apply to you, but I'm just giving you all types of proofs, right? Then you have factual proof, right? Has the value or popularity of your product increased over time, right? You can also use this, right? So, I see a lot of people on their status. What you can then use is, are there articles written about, let's say, TikTok, the service that you're providing, where authority figures are saying, oh, TikTok has surpassed Google in terms of a search engine or things like that. Stats that you can use that obviously makes your product or your offer more believable, right? The popularity has gone up with TikTok or Snapchat or Pinterest or SMS or email, right? And credibility. Credibility is all about you. Can you be trusted? Do you have like a scammy reputation? Or when people go into your profile, people leave bad reviews. So that's another type, right? Then you have endorsements, right? Are any celebrities or highly regarded authorities that can vouch for your service, right? Do you have high profile customers, right? If you can say Iman Gaji or Kai Bix or Nick Shackelford actually loves your service and he used your Google ad service or your TikTok ad service, that's a pretty compelling case made, right? So, do you have any qualifications? Qualifications, I don't mean a degree. I just mean like, do you, for your service, right? Do you have TikTok certification? Do you have Facebook Blueprint? Do you have Google certification? You may think that that does not matter, but a lot of people, a lot of clients, especially those that really don't know much, they don't do media buying themselves. They don't know shit about Facebook ads. If you can show them, like, hey, I have TikTok certification, like, that's another level of like social recognition, right? Like, wow, okay, I can actually trust this person, right? Then you have awards and recognition. Do you have any awards for your agency? All right. Has your agency gotten any recognition? Maybe it's from AdWorld conference, right? TikTok agency marketplace. I don't know. TikTok has recognized you as the go-to agency, right? Use that, right? And then the other thing is also logic. Do not underestimate appealing to your client's logical side, right? People are logical, right? Don't forget that, right? Um, and I want to make an example. So there's this cosmetic company in Korea that claims that all of its products, which are really, really good products, it claims are the equivalent of 10 USD or less, right? Like decent working skincare products. Now, this would make you skeptical because it's like, wow, okay, why is it so cheap, right? But the company actually came out and told everyone that informed and educated the clients and their customers that actually 90% of cosmetic cost goes towards advertising. Whoa, when I read this, I was like, what? So you're telling me this Nivea is like 500 USD for nothing? It just I'm paying for advertising. So they basically told their customers that you're not paying us to run big billboard ads or to be featured in Vogue, right? They also added that most products are filled with foam, which adds to the cost, and which they obviously don't, which makes sense. I mean, if you're telling me that, then it's like, wow, shit. Then obviously I'm not going to go to Nibia. Then, I mean, so you're telling me they're charging 500 and 400 goes to advertising? No, then I'm not going to do that, right? So, and guess what this did, right? Their stores are literally jam packed every day, right? And their execution was great because if you, the 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 Korean society is filled with people that are price conscious, right? All of its consumers are price conscious, and that's not just for skincare. It's just the country's a very price conscious country, right? Then we have offer intensifiers. So this is what will make your offer. I got to have this right now, right? The first one is scarcity, right? This pertains to the limited people we can serve every 3 months, right? As an agency, right? Now, one thing you have to really understand about human nature is that people love buying things that very few people can have, right? And that's why Apple is so big, right? That's just human nature, right? So you can take advantage of this fact, right? And people really have a big fear of loss, right? So for us, our scarcity will be that we can only handle 5 clients in a month or every 3 months. So we only have capacity for 5 clients, right? Other than that, you'll have to wait for reopenings again, right? Get it now or lose out. So, and then urgency, right? Urgency means that there's a deadline, there's a date stamp towards this. So, scarcity is how many people do we have capacity for at our agency per month or every 3 months. Urgency is there's actually a deadline. Like, if you don't respond to this within the next 7 days, my sister, you're going to have to wait for the next 3 months, right? So you have to keep in mind that people are natural procrastinators. And this, we get the teachings from John Carlton, right? And let's be honest, right? We all procrastinate. I mean, who doesn't procrastinate? Even Sam Ovens probably procrastinate, right? He doesn't say it, but I'm sure he does, right? Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. So we all know that we should do something or follow through with something important, but there's like this big sloth in us, right? And this applies just as much to our prospects, right? And like I said, John Carlton actually teaches us this, that we should see and think of our prospects as sloths, right? And in order to respond to our offer, they have to drag themselves. They're like sloths with like small hands, and they have to like drag themselves off of the chair, go grab the order form, fill it out. That's why your prospects need a reason to act with urgency. You need to say, hey, if you do not act within a day, boom, it's done. Done for you, right? And then we have risk reversal. Now, this we use the great J. Abrahams. He actually coined the term risk reversal, right? He says that a guarantee is the absolute bare minimum, right? At the bare minimum, your offer should have a money back guarantee. In some cases, you're obligated by law. In some countries, I know in the US, in South Africa, in the UK, I'm not sure, but you're obligated by law to actually have a guarantee. If a consumer is not happy with your product or service, you should have a guarantee. And if you don't, you can actually be taken to law for this, right? There is a law in SA that actually has this, right? So Jay says that what you should offer your prospects is a risk reversal. A guarantee is the bare minimum. That's just entry level stuff, right? So a guarantee would look like this, nah? Just to show you the example and the differences between the two, because risk reversal may seem like, okay, what do you mean by that? So a guarantee is, hey, if you're not happy for whatever reason, we will issue you a prompt refund, no questions asked. Next business day, we'll ship it or we'll pay you, right? Now, Jay Abraham says that a guarantee is not enough. Like I said, you should go a step even further, right? and risk reverse it, right? So you should be offering them value, something of value that they get to keep if they issue the refund, right? So an example of this would be like, come to my seminar, and if you're not happy by the end of the first day, I'll cut you a check, right? And I'll cut you a check for the full price of the seminar. Not just that, but I'll pay you an extra $100,000 for the price of the flight, the hotel, meaning that you're absolutely out of nothing. Like, I'm paying you full price and I'm paying you extra so you can actually enjoy your stay. You're not going to the seminar, but you're going to enjoy the rest of your stay, and it can be a great vacation for you, right? That is a risk reversal. It's a negative risk. You're not just offering a guarantee, which is the entry level, but you're actually saying, hey, I'm going to reverse this entire thing and I'm going to give you $1,000 for wasting your time, right? You can go buy chips, coconut water, boom, 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 whatever you need to enjoy the rest of the holiday. So the thing that you should know about guarantees and risk reversals in any exchange for that matter, it's basically the law of capitalism, right? The person that's willing to take on the most risk on an exchange is going to get the person to do what they want. Read that again, right? So you want to make it as zero risk or as negative risk as possible. And here we have different types of guarantees or risk reversals. Here we have the money back guarantee. If you're not 100% satisfied, simply return it to us. We'll refund you the entire purchase price on the spot next business day. Boom, 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 done. Pay for results. As an agency, this is obviously relevant for us. You only pay us for what you get, or we only work on performance basis, right? Now, do I recommend that you do this as a beginner agency? Absolutely not. Like, you need to build cash flow in order to actually fund your business. And if you're working on performance basis, no. I tried that. Trust me, there was a time where it was a big thing where everybody was like, work on performance, work on performance. It got me nowhere, right? And then we have the double, triple your money back guarantee. If in 90 days we don't make you 100% of your MRR, we will double or triple back your money on the spot, no questions asked. And I think Kybex offers this guarantee, right? And then we have another offer intensifier, which is added value. Now you want to stack some unexpected value to your offer, right? And this will actually make your customer resist your offer less and less, right? This is the best. This is best included as part of your closing process, right? Think of the bonus as something you can add to the deal to make it all the sweeter, right? But just to be sure, it's something that is of genuine value. Like, you don't just want to say, hey, sign on to our agency and here's a sheet of, I don't know, here's a sheet that will, track how much you spend, right? That's not really something of value. And this is the golden rule of freebies. Let me just highlight that. Never give anything away that you wouldn't otherwise be able to sell. Like, if you aren't able to sell that thing, actually put a price on it. Don't give it away for free. Otherwise, it's just not value, right? And this is where Alex Hormozy advises that if you're selling a service, what you can do is, right, after the sale, so close the client, then after the sale, you mention the bonuses, which obviously will reinforce their decision to do business with you, which will be like, wow, Jesus, I actually made the right choice. Like, wow. So you make the sale, and then afterwards you'd be like, and what we offer is also X, B, C, Y, Z, right? So let's actually create it. No more talking, no more going through mental frameworks. Let's actually develop our offer, right? So this is what we're going to do step by step, right? And this is, we're going to start with developing our back-end offer, the main thing, what we're going to develop. And then we're going to go through the front-end offer. And then we're going to add some urgency, right? So the goal here is to solve a really, really painful problem with a superior solution. one that obviously gets their dream outcome, right? And you want to make it high ROI by added value, right? So, if we have to outline some dream outcomes for some e-com founders, right? Right now, for a lot of e-com brands, they're really, really, really struggling with the iOS update. A lot of them just want to leave Facebook, but they have this love and hate relationship where it's like, what's the alternative? So that's a baseline of all e-com brands. But if we need to identify the dream outcome of a particular sect of e-com brands that are struggling, there is one group that's struggling to get past 50K, past 100K. A lot of them are really, really struggling to get past 100K. Only a few brands are doing past a million, really. Um, so they usually don't have the correct systems in place. And so a lot of them really focus on one aspect, whether that's a traffic source like Facebook ads. They're heavily, heavily reliant on Facebook ads, so which makes it really hard to scale. And a lot of them don't really have really good back-end systems in place. It's that usual set up a store, run Facebook ads, boom, boom, boom. So, yeah. So, let's list the steps, right? First, we're going to list the steps that they need in order to achieve getting past 100K, getting past 50K, right? So, what they're going to need is we know this as media buyers, as advertisers, right? So, they need to test as many front end offers as possible, right? Not only that, but they need to have good creatives that they can test every 7 days in order to actually find good winners, right? Then they need to have a solid tracking system so that they can actually make good decisions, right? Nowadays, with the iOS update, it's made it even harder. Facebook giving inaccurate data, like it's just you aren't able to make good decisions. What you'll do is, as a media buyer, end up scaling the wrong campaigns, you lose money, and they also need to send traffic to a high converting landing page so that they can get more out of their traffic, right? And they also really need to have a good backend system that retains customers and increases LTV, right? So this includes good automated email and SMS backend flows, right? So a good backend offer also. So then what we're going to do is go through the obstacles and limiting beliefs that they have with regards to the steps that they need to achieve. So we've outlined the steps that we know they need to achieve to scale past 100K. Like, you know for a fact that your client needs regular ad creatives at this point. If you don't, then how are you even offering Facebook ads, right? Now, let's go through all the limiting beliefs that they have, right? Number one, they might be thinking, getting good creatives in UGC is super hard. It's super expensive. It's hard getting influencers, right? You need UGC, work with influencers to align with your brand, and some of them just want freebies. It's expensive getting good creatives, especially on a regular basis. It's hard. I don't even know what an offer is. Everybody's screaming offer, 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 but I don't even know what it is. Tracking, oh my God, tracking is so complicated. It's such a tedious task. Like, I don't even know how to read the data, much less interpret it and what it says. Like, I'm just seeing all these numbers on Facebook. I suck with numbers. It's all just confusing. Like, people told me that I would just be selling products. Now I have to deal with numbers, right? How do I set up a strong back? We're tackling all these things that they have in the back of their minds, right? All these conversations that they have, right? And a lot of the times, what you think about it is what they think. Like, imagine what they think about it, right? As an agency owner, you might not be good with numbers. So tracking is something that you're really, really struggling with. Same with them, right? Imagine you're sold by gurus, sell a product, the old drop shipping way. And then you find out you have to deal with tracking and all of that, right? Then for them, it's also like, Now I have to set up strong backends, and what does that even look like? First, I had to worry about Facebook ads, now email, now SMS. Jesus Christ, this is too much. So now what we're going to do is list those obstacles and the limiting beliefs as solutions, right? So what we're going to do is basically with the ad creatives, these first two limiting beliefs and obstacles that they have. Getting ad creatives is super hard. It's expensive, especially on a regular basis. It's hard. Now we're going to turn that problematic language and reframe it into our solutions, right? And we're using Alex Hormozzi's framework, right? Now we're going to say how to easily get quality UGC, right? For them, it's hard getting quality creatives that actually represent their brand or getting influences that align with their brand. So now we're going to reframe that and put the opposite words, right? How to easily get quality UGC from influencers that align, that not only align with your brand values, but love your brand every 7 days, right? Using our HP foolproof UGC system. And the value is 2,500, right? We're stacking up these values like we're doing CRO style, right? Stacking up these values and also adding the price so that they see like, wow. And this includes, sourcing and finding influencers that align with your brand. All UGC will be edited and ready to import into your ads manager, coupled with copy that is made for every stage of the funnel. We're solving these issues we're reframing it into solutions, right? In terms of offers, what we're going to offer you as an agency, as a Facebook agency, is we're going to set up scalable front and back end offers within 2 weeks, right? This include front end offers that are proven to work in your particular niche, whether that your client's pet niche, fashion. We're going to give them offers that are proven to work in their niche, front and back end offers. Tracking. You'll be able to access our in-house tracking system that is easy to read, easy to understand without using the confusing Facebook ads manager, right? And this would include, data that tells you what creative and what copy is converting, right? It includes data that shows you where the drop-offs are happening, add to cart, maybe it's traffic, maybe it's landing page, in what stage of the funnel and how to actually close that gap, right? This includes data that tells you at what stage of the funnel looks like and how to optimize it, right? And will easily build you affordable and access ready-made landing pages that convert from 3% upwards, right? You need to solve all these obstacles for them that they'll encounter scaling past 100K, right? It's actually testing a lot of creatives, right? It's creating front-end offers that work in their niche, creating custom tracking, which you need to do, especially in this landscape, right? And for clients, it's a big pain in the ass, right? You need to create maybe custom landing page to send high traffic to high converting landing pages, right? You need to set up front-end offers for automated and flows using email and SMS. It's not enough to just do Facebook ads. Not enough. If you actually want to make money in this landscape, you need to solve problems. And I'm outlining it for you. Jesus, what did I do? I'm outlining it for you. And you can think of very creative ways to come up with these things, right? You can partner up with UGC agencies, get them a discount. You can add your price obviously on top of that, right? You can create custom tracking sheets, right? Just hire someone one time to do it for you. Or you can think of it, look for a tutorial on how to use Google Sheets. You don't need to have like a tracking software. I'm talking about sheets, right? But it's valuable. It doesn't matter how it looks like aesthetically, if it's on a software or if it's a Google Sheet. As long as it's easy to read and easy to understand, it's valuable, right? You can create custom landing pages. There's a lot of software that actually gives templated custom landing pages that convert at 3% upwards. Now, this you don't need to go to a specific agency or partner up with an agency. You can literally just look for software that does this and then put in your client's product, right? And then now, Alex Hormozy in his book suggests that you can use different models to solve the client's problem, right? So the tracking sheet, for example, you can have a do it for you, a do it with you. You give them the tracking sheet, they enter the numbers, and everything makes sense. Or you can do it for them, right? The same with offers. You can do it with them. Consult with them, like the offers that are working, and then they can decide, okay, we'll take this offer based on our margins and based on our CACs, right? But what I suggest is you start with do it for you, right? You want to pick up as many loads on your shoulder so that it's easy for your client to convert. And also, you can charge higher. Don't be scared to charge higher. Like, I stopped charging $1,000 back then. Like, you need to charge higher also, right? But he also says that you need to provide as much value as possible in the beginning, and then you can scale and trim. Like, start with do it for you first, and then once you also go through the work yourself and trim what your clients actually find valuable, then you can trim that offer and create a done with you, and then create a course, right? And one thing that is important is that you take care of every hurdle, right? Or at least a huge chunk of the hurdle. The point is to take off that load off your client's shoulders and provide as much value as possible, right? So yeah, we've done all of that. The dream outcome, list the steps that they need to achieve this, list all the obstacles, right? And then turn the obstacles into solutions. Now, we're going to come to the compelling touchstone, right? Our front end offer. This is also known as what you promote, right? So this is our front end offer. This is what you put on your bio. Using our scale past privacy method, give us 90 days and we will not only scale you past 100K, but we'll make your business iOS proof. If not, we will provide a full refund next business day plus $1,000 for wasting your time, right? Then in your bio, you can add 3 out of 5 spots already taken, right? And that can account for, you don't need to lie. You can do it ethically. That can account for, let's say you already have 3 clients. Then you can say only 2 spots left, right? Then urgency. This offer is ending soon, 5th of Feb. If you don't act now, sorry, you're not going to qualify. You're not going to become a client, right? Then you can offer, if this offer doesn't work, you can try another one in the next 10 days. Try a different offer. You want to test as many offers as possible. And remember to add believability to your offer, right? A strong reason why you're making such a bold claim in one of your stories, obviously, right? So putting it all together. Now, what we did was, and what you need to do is actually create a back-end offer like we did, right? Go through all the steps, the dream outcomes, the steps that they're going to face, the hurdles that they're going to face, solve all those hurdles, solve the problems that they're going to go through, and then the front-end offer, right? Which is this one. This is a templated front-end offer that I've created for you guys. You can steal it. And then we're going to add intensifiers, which was, you can literally add 3 spots left or 2 spots left, offer ending soon, right? And then, yeah, so we've done all of this, right? And then this is what your customers will see, obviously. You befriend them on Facebook if you're doing social media prospecting. They go onto your bio. They see your front-end offer. Then they'll see your intensifier. You speak to them and they'll be like, I would love to hear more. You get on a Zoom call with them. Then they hear your back-end offer, right? So that is it for the training, guys. Let me know if you've tested this out and you've actually signed a client with this. This is literally what I use to sign all my clients using this new service that I'm providing. Let me know.